I'm Sensei John Small with the Western Mountain Jiu-Jitsu Society. The heat of the day is broken and the bugs are out feeding ferociously, so I'm probably going to try to blast through this one real quick. This is a video about alternatives to free weights. Not everybody has access to free weights. I haven't always. So there are a lot of things that you can do instead. Let me start right here. I've got bungee cords. Bungee cords are readily available to a lot of people. Your short ones you can really kind of use as a tricep exercise, going one way, the other. Variety of ways you can play around with it. I like the long ones better typically. I've actually taken the hooks off of this one. I like that easier. There's long ones you can hook around things like a post or a tree. Use it pushing kind of exercises in this way. Also, hooking it around your feet is another option where you can either do more of a back row with it, getting the back involved, or using the arms in this sort of way. So bungees are a good tool that you can use that provide resistance in a variety of ways. You can play around with it, see how they mimic the different exercises that you may know. Moving on to these, just to get these right quickly out of the way with. Tires, same thing. They're not weights, but you can use them to do curls. These reverse sort of fly type exercises. I have a number of things like that. Personally, I like kind of I was never a track discus guy or anything, but I just like throwing them around the yard in that way. Gotcha. That way. So this one has a rim on it. Safety first. You may be a tough guy, but I don't like cleaning up wounds and keeping infections from happening. So I'm more likely to want to put the gloves on when handling these kinds of sharp metal things. But now you can get a grip, the tire's heavier. You can do various things like press exercises. And you have a number of things. Bend over row type exercises. Things of that sort. So you can see that a tire can be pretty useful to you in providing you some resistance training. Cinder blocks. Love cinder blocks. Rocks, of course, work. But the beauty of cinder blocks is that you can make them consistent. You know that they're more or less going to be the same weight as one another. So these, for example, if I know I wanted to practice my grip strength in both hands, they work well like that. I like cinder blocks. You can stack them up. I like them for, you can use them as some bent over row exercises. As I say, you can stack these things up for more resistance levels. So that's a good one. I enjoy them for that. You know, you can use them to give you some weight if you're doing step ups, that kind of thing. Maybe you're going to a higher level. Both legs. So you can see that they work for curls. Cinder blocks are great, and they're cheap. Right along those lines, you can really make your own concrete weights if you wanted to get ambitious into it. I don't see why. It's a PVC pipe, and you just build the forms. You don't necessarily have to work them down to exact weights. The key is just having them consistent so that they're built to the same size as you may want. Whether it weighs 10 pounds or 12 pounds may not exactly matter, or 11 pounds, as long as you have two that are the same. Working to have things symmetrical is a good idea. Which touch upon this with cinder blocks also. Cinder blocks, especially you start getting these that have the holes. Of course, I was saying about the holes, they give you a little more grip if you want to do curls that way. They're also nice for the added feature of being able to utilize a pole with them that way. And then, again, something like this, here's some bent over rows, are a great activity when you don't have weights. Really good exercise with the bent over rows. One of those multi-joint movements that really engages a lot. I'll touch upon that more in the future. Moving along from cinder blocks though. Oh, I don't need those anymore. It takes up like a log. Especially if it's longer and thinner, a little more easier to manage like a bar. They can be heavy. Grab it this way. Wrong way to grab it. There we go. That's what I'm looking to do. Get it up, and you can, again, do some presses with it. The thing about a log is typically you can see they're often thinner at one end than the other. So that's going to give you an uneven weight. So I think is being aware of that sort of thing. The key there is, your first set, your right arm's getting the heavier side. Make sure your left arm's getting the heavier side on your second set. That way you're achieving the balance. Flip lines. Back to flip lines again. I love them so much. I spoke in the video of lifting techniques, about how you can utilize flip lines to help you assist in lifting things. Same idea here. I've just wrapped the thing around 3 times, essentially, giving it a real good cinch by wrapping around so it doesn't slip much, but it also allows me to bring it. Seems like a lot of slack there, but once I even that out between 3 strands, it's much closer. Just really enough to get my hands in there. Once I'm grabbing, holding, pulling, it really doesn't leave much room for slipping. Some place where the carabiner's out of the way. Get them evened up on themselves a little bit. And again, sort of thing, you can do some bent over rows. You can have a variety of sizes of logs, presses. Again, these are all good kinds of exercises. Any of these you can apply to a log with different exercises, lunges, things like that. Moving along, especially if you really want to calculate your weight more. Water jugs. 8.3 pounds of water in a gallon. So something like this is 2.5 gallons. You're looking at 16, 20, 21 pounds of water, essentially, per jug. So whatever you may use these for, lateral raises, front raises. As I say, curls are always great. The bent over rows that I've illustrated in other videos. Depending on the resistance levels you need, you can take something like that and strap them together. Now you got 42 pounds of water. These ones are empty. Some things you won't really be able to accommodate with something like this. For example, the dumbbell or the forearm curls that I did in the other video. You can see that once you really start doing this, it's going to force that to roll up around. That's, you may find that you can work that in some way. It's really about achieving the resistance. Making sure that you're not doing contraindicated things that are going to screw with you, but water jugs in this regard also. I've got a set of them strapped up. I'll take another set. Just on a side note, I love flip lines so much, I've got 4 of them happening. And this one I mentioned in my other video how much I love paracord too, so at some point I had to put the two together, and now I have a paracord flip line. If that's the kind of thing you're interested in, I would recommend checking out some videos on YouTube on how to make a paracord belt, and then just extend the length off of that. So basically here I'm just wrapping it through a few times to make sure I take up the excess line here, so that things are nice and tight and close. Once I get it all hooked together. This one's a little longer than this one. If I were doing this for real, I would take 2 of my even ones and put them together. But again, you can see you have some real nice, probably holding the same direction. There we go. So some real nice resistance for curls, or as I say, some a little too much for me now. Maybe I'm getting too tired for those lateral raises. 3 gallons of water. You're looking at what, 24, 20, yeah, about 25 pounds a piece there. So anyways, I think that's, sheetrock buckets. I mean, the bigger the bucket, I can put 5 gallons of water in this. That brings it up to 40 pounds. Let's bring another one of these out. You know, but you start getting heavy enough like that, depending on where you're at, you know, these can be, wait for the yahoos to pass. So depending on where you're at, these can be, you know, heavy enough so that you can do your lunges and leg exercises, or that sort of thing. Anyways, I hope that gives you some idea on some of the alternatives to free weights that you can use and still achieve a real good workout. And that should wrap it up. I'm going to go get out of the bugs here. No more, gotta gesamste. Thank you. Sayonara.